trying to get a deep understanding of what happens with education and why is there so much failure within the educational system, and then what are some of the things that they're proposing to be alternative to that. So I was looking at what was going on in Boston, right?
Hmm.
Boston had just come up with a particular system now that kind of changes things in terms of how they will start grading students. And I just want to outlay some of this stuff. Among the key elements is don't take points off when a student turns in an assignment late.
Hmm.
Don't consider students' behavior in determining academic grades.
Hmm.
Let students redo work that's subpar and only count the last effort.
Hmm.
Make 50 the minimum grade on an assignment, not zero. Um, and it says the main idea is for academic grades to reflect a student's knowledge and abilities at the end of the course, not the student's path to get there, and not class behavior or work habits.
Hmm.
So I'm interested in knowing your thoughts on that, gentlemen.
Well, you know, um, as the resident high school teacher, I'll just say that, like, this is an ongoing problem. It's not new. That's what's already happening. And so the issue of endless makeup weeks and the issue of uh, how you can't hold somebody's attendance against them, and so then you're forced to grade the person who partially occasionally shows up at school. If they then do certain things well or with zeal, then you're supposed to grade them as equal to the person who shows up every day and also does things with zeal and with dedication. So this is but I mean, I'm a one trick pony. All of the people that I was able to take from NX into CR, okay, for those who don't know, um, a 65 and down is then considered an NX. So that way your kid doesn't show up with a 45 on their grade, which is the lowest grade I can give is a 45.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then if 66 to 79 is a CR, which means credit. And then an 80 and above, you give the actual number. So to me, when I saw that, the first thing I thought was, well, there's a really big difference between a student that's getting a 79 and a student that's getting a 66. I mean, like, I don't know why they then end up in this blurred, like, kind of, classification. Because I feel like if they come from my school in the South Bronx, people will assume they're on the lower end of that CR. And I think if they look differently, they might be considered on the higher end of that CR. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure how that's going to play itself out because we really haven't had that happen before. But the 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 behavioral aspects of this and the idea that I have students that do not engage, like to disrupt, and that doesn't become a negative in most situations. Now, in my class, because I teach theater tech and theater production or performance production, then it enables me to grade on those things because participation, you have to, like, if you had to set up the lights, you have to set up the lights, or if you have to set up the stage, you have to set up the stage. There's no, like, you can't cheat off your friend's test. You literally have to set the stuff up on stage. So by being a tactile class, then there's less of that. But in the academics in general, this is a huge problem. And again, I'm a one trick pony. The parents, without, we can teach all kinds of things in the school until we have an ethos at home where people are told that education is important, and that is reinforced.
Well, shouldn't they be employed about trying to make a change, Terrence, in terms of student achievement to help them succeed?
Absolutely not, in my opinion, brother. Um, a couple of things that I'm messing with the computer now and jack myself up. Couple of things that and I was listening to your criteria and the recommendations and such, and I have to I wrote down to what end. What is the ultimate goal of these modifications? Is the ultimate goal to make numerically students that pass, to have a higher pass rate, like Brother Dow was talking about, to kind of take away the autonomy of the teacher, who really is on the ground floor and ground zero as far as what the students' abilities are. Um, the truth of the matter is that Dow spoke about the challenges of our community being able to create jobs and opportunities and entrepreneurship and things like that is very challenged and is very limited. But the world out there, the world out there grades on a curve indeed, but the curve is an upward curve for our children. And so therefore, when you say that things like behavior don't matter, behavior absolutely does matter. From that first phone call, from that first email, from that first job interview. And socialization is something that is never taught in school, but it can make you and break you just as much as education
Mhm.
can make you or break you.